5 students. Today in this class we will discuss about revision of chapter 1. So let us start the revision of chapter 1 in this class. Let us start. So this is first we will discuss about the skeletal system. The skeletal system works as a support structure for your body. It gives the body its shape, allows movement, makes blood cells and provides protection for organs and stores minerals. So there are many functions for the skeletal system. Let us see about that function. That is, skeletal system works as a support. That means it gives a shape and support to your body. It gives the body a shape, allows movement. It allows movement because due to the presence of skeleton you can move your body and joints. And the bone marrow that is present inside the blood makes the blood cells, and it provides protection for the organs like our brain is protected inside the skull. Our spinal cord is protected inside the backbone, and our rib cage protects our heart and lungs. So all this gives the protection to the internal organs, soft internal organs, and it also gives stores minerals like calcium and phosphorus. Next is skeleton. So what is skeleton? Let us see. The skeleton is the framework of bones that give shape and to the body. Without a skeleton we will not get any shape, and protects the soft delicate inner organs such as heart and lungs. The rib cage protects heart and lungs. The skeleton also enables the movement of the body and protects our internal organs. For example, the skull protects the brain and the rib cage protects the heart and lungs. So it gives protection to our internal organs. Now bones. So how many bones are there? The adult human skeleton is made up of 206 bones, whereas human child has more than 350 bones. As the child grows, some of the bones fuse together. That's why the number of bones in the adult human is less than the children. Bones differ in size and shape. It is not necessary that all the bones will be same size and same shape. They are different in shape and sizes according to the place. Like bones of our fingers, your toes are very small, and bones of your arms and legs are long. Some bones are long and some bones are short. You can see the internal structure of the bone is also shown here, that inside the bone blood vessels are also there. Inside it is compact bone also, one spongy bone also, and inside the bone there is bone marrow also, where new blood cells are formed. So this is the internal structure of the bone shown in this picture. Now next is, you can see parts of skeletal system. So there are many parts of skeletal system. You can see here: skull, rib cage, spine or backbone, limbs, forelimbs and hindlimbs, and girdles. All are the different parts of the skeletal system. Now the skull. First we will discuss about the skull. The cranium skull is the skeletal structure of the head that supports the face and protects the brain. It is subdivided into the facial bones and the brain cage or cranial. So the bone in the skull is divided into two parts, the cranial bones and facial bones, and it protects our brain inside. Cranial bones has 8 bones. Total bones present in the skull is 22, and cranial is 8 bones, and left that is 14 bones. It is facial bone that makes the facial structure. You can see the picture of skull in this picture. There are 2 sockets for your eyes, one for nose, one for mouth, and ear also. Ear also is there inside the skull also, holes for ear also. Now next, in the adult skull consists of 22 individual bones, 21 of which are immobile. Immobile means, that means immovable. It cannot be moved. Only and united into a single unit. It is united. You cannot move this part separately. The 22nd bone is the mandible, lower jaw. The 22nd bone is the lower jaw. That is only movable bone in the skull. So in the skull, immovable bones are present. Only immovable bone in the skull is lower jaw. That is also known as mandible. Now next is backbone. That is also very important part of our body, skeleton, or it is also known as spine. The skull is attached to the backbone at its base. So directly skull is attached to the backbone at its base. The backbone forms the main axis of the body. Backside is a main axis is formed by the backbone. It consists of series of 33 small bones. That means our backbone consists of 33 small bones. Each of these bones is called vertebra. It is singular vertebra and plural is vertebrae. Therefore, the backbone is also known as vertebral column. Since the bones are named as vertebra, that's why the backbone is also known as vertebral column. It protects the spinal cord. Inside the vertebral column, our spinal cord is protected. Now, what is spinal cord? Spinal cord is a bundle of nerves that extends downwards from the brain. It gives us different types of senses. Backbone is made up of many small bones, so we are able to twist and bend the backbone in different directions. If backbone would have been made up of only one single bone, then we would not have been able to bend our body, twist our body. So, since it is made up of small bones, that's why we can bend our body and twist our body. You can see the structure of backbone here, different types of bones: cervical vertebrae, thoracic vertebrae, lumbar vertebrae and sacral vertebrae. These are all different types of vertebrae present in our backbone. Now rib cage. Rib cage is another important part of our skeleton. Ribs are thin, flat, curved bones. Each rib is thin and it is flat also and curved also, like C shape. They form a protective cage that surrounds the lungs and the heart. That means it protects our lungs and heart, serving an important means of bony protection for these vital organs. Our heart and lungs are very vital organs and they are protected inside the rib cage. The rib cage consists of 24 ribs. In addition to the sternum, in the middle there is a long bone that is also known as chest bone, breast bone or sternum. So, 24 ribs are arranged in 12 pairs of ribs. Right? It forms 12 pairs of ribs in our rib cage. They are joined to backbone at the back. They are joined to the backbone at the back, and in front they are joined with the sternum. But the last two pairs of ribs are not joined to the sternum in the front. They are only joined at the back to the backbone. So, they are also known as floating ribs. Last two pairs of ribs are floating ribs. You can see in this picture also rib cage, how the ribs are forming. Front side they are joined to the sternum. You can see clearly it is sternum, and in front side they are coming and joining to the sternum, and back side you can see it is joined to the backbone. This is backbone. To the backbone it is joined. So, but the last two pairs are not joined to the backbone. You can see in this picture also. So, this is the structure of your rib cage. Now, limbs. We have two pairs of limbs, the forelimbs and the hind limbs. Forelimbs are called arms, and the forelimb can be divided into upper arm, the forearm and the hand. The upper arm of the body extends from the shoulder to the elbow and provides strength for pulling and lifting the forearm. It is the part of the forelimb between the wrist and the elbow. The upper arm has only one single bone known as humerus, and the lower arm has two bones called radius and ulna. You can see the picture here. The long bone upside is humerus, and here radius and ulna is also present. You can see the single long bone here, humerus. Here two bones are there, it is ulna, and here radius. And you can see small bones are also there, metacarpus and carpus. After that digits, that means fingers. Now next you can see hind limbs. Hind limbs are also known as legs. The leg consists of upper leg, knee, lower leg, ankle and foot. The femur is a thigh bone, the longest bone in our body. The base of the femur makes up the part of the knee. The lower leg has two bones called tibia and femula. In this same case it is, but the name of the bones are different. In this, the upper long bone is known as femur, and the lower leg has two bones, tibia and fibula. The ankle and toes have many small bones. You can see here picture, femur, the longest bone, single upper side, one single bone femur, and after that lower side has two bones, tibia and fibula. You can see here tibia and fibula. After that tarsals and metatarsals. Now girdles. Two girdles are there. The pelvic girdle is pelvic and pectoral girdle. Pelvic girdle is a ring of bones attached to the vertebral column that connects the bones of the lower limbs to the axial skeleton. Our legs are joined to the body with the help of pelvic girdle. The pelvic girdle consists of right and left hip bones with which our legs are attached. And the pectoral girdle, also referred to as shoulder girdle, connects our upper limbs to the bones. Along the axis of your body, you have two pectoral girdles in your body, right and left. So both the arms are attached to the body with the help of pectoral girdle. You can see here girdles are shown, shoulder girdle, right and left both shoulder girdle you can see here, shoulder girdle, our arms are attached here you can see, and this is pelvic girdle, right and left you can see our legs are attached with the pelvic girdle to the body. So this is pectoral pelvic girdle that attaches our legs and arms to our body. Now next we will see about the muscular system. The muscular system is composed of special cells called muscle fiber. Our muscle fiber forms the muscular system, and it includes special cells. It includes the different types of muscles in the body. All the muscles in the body are not same. There are different types of muscles in our body. Nearly all movement in the body is result of the muscles contraction. By the contraction and relaxation of muscles only we have movement in our body. Muscles. Our skeletal system is covered with muscles. Whole skeletal system is covered with muscles. You cannot see the bone in your body anywhere. There are more than 600 muscles in our body. Actually it is 640. Muscles are made up of long, strong fibers. Now how do muscles work? We know that muscles work in pairs. Muscles are attached to the bones by tendons. Now, there is a very small, strong fiber called tendons that helps the muscles to attach with the bones. When a muscle contracts and helps to move also, this tendons helps the bone to move also. When a muscle contracts, bunches up, it gets shorter and so pulls on the bone it is attached to. When a muscle relaxes, it goes back to its normal size. That means when muscle becomes shorter and it is pulling the bone in which it is attached. When muscle relaxes, it goes back to its normal size again. Muscles can only pull and cannot push. So muscles move by pulling the bones only. It cannot move by pushing the bone. Therefore, muscles have to work in pairs. If one side of muscle will contract, the other side will relax. Therefore, muscles have to work in pairs to move a joint. One muscle will contract and pull a joint one way and another muscle will contract and pull it other way. So, one side contract and other side relaxes, and like this they help the bones to move. Now types of muscles you can see: cardiac muscles, skeletal muscle, that is also known as voluntary muscle, smooth muscles, that is also known as involuntary muscles. So we will see about the different types of muscles now. Voluntary muscles. These type of muscles are attached either directly or indirectly to the bones. That's why they are also known as skeletal muscle. These muscles can be controlled and work at our will. These are found in the arms, legs, eyes, tongue. We can move our tongue, our arms and legs and our eyes with the at our own will. No? It is under our control. Thus, while reading, writing, walking, running, we use voluntary muscles. They are also known as skeletal muscle because they are attached to the bones. Now, next we will see about the next muscles. Involuntary muscles. These muscles are not under our control. These muscles are found in the internal body organs and works automatically. They are not joined with any type of bones. So, they are also known as smooth muscles. The control actions like the movement of the food in the alimentary canal. Movement of food in the digestive system we cannot control, it is automatic. The flow of blood also we cannot control, it is automatic. And the movement of the eye muscles also, sometimes that is reflex action, we cannot control. That's why they are known as involuntary muscles. Now cardiac muscles, these are very special muscles, are present in the heart only. They are found in the heart. They are involuntary in function. They are responsible for pumping blood throughout the body. They are involuntary in function, but they are special muscle and they are present in the heart only. So they are known as cardiac muscle. Now some revision questions are there for you. Some important terms are there. Define that. Ligaments. What are ligaments? Strong tissues that bind the bones at a joint are called ligaments. That means bones are joined with the bone with the help of a very strong tissue called ligament. Now tendons. Tendons are strong fibers with which muscles are attached to the bones are called tendons. That means Bones are attached with the muscles with the help of tendons. Skeleton. The framework of bones that gives shape and support to the body is called skeleton. Now vertebrae. Bones forming the backbone are called vertebrae. Each bone of the backbone is known as vertebra, singular, and it is in plural called vertebrae. Now differentiate between voluntary and involuntary muscles. Involuntary muscles are not in our control, they work on their own. Involuntary muscles control the movement of the food in the digestive system, the flow of blood in the body, etc. Whereas voluntary muscles are under our control. We can control some actions with the help of voluntary muscles, like we run, walk, bend and stretch with the help of voluntary muscles. Now next we will see about the next question. Fill in the blanks. First number question is, does help bones to move by working in pairs? We know that muscles help the bones to move by working in pairs. Second number question is, the smallest muscle in the body is, we know that stapedius is the smallest muscle in the body that is present in our ear. Third number question is, the uppermost vertebra is called the atlas. The first number vertebra is known as atlas. Fourth number question is, the longest bone in the human body is femur. Femur is the longest bone. It is present in the leg and it is also known as thigh bone. 5 number is, your big toes have dash bones each. That we have 2 bones each in our big toes. Other toes have 3 bones each. So it is over. You fill in the blanks. Thank you students. We will meet in the next class again. Thank you.